And one of the problems that I'm calling out, one of the things that I hope more security practitioners and executive and everybody involved gets to understand is that there is an asymmetry in AI that we need to understand and work around. And that asymmetry is that there are cheaper oracles for offensive than for defensive actions. Oracle, not the company, of course, it's very cheap, computationally speaking, for you to create a test that verifies if an action was done or not, right? So it's much easier to test for offensive results. Was there a buffer overflow? Did I reach that system and that tiny little advantage compounds in a world of reinforcement learning, which is what we use for these things, right? Where it's much easier for a system to iterate over, let me try a billion different ways to break things. And it's very cheap computationally to verify which of those billions of things actually worked. Comparatively, to do this for defense is much more expensive. There is no cheap cost for defense, right? And the point I'm arguing is that this basically explains why we're seeing some of these things, right? Why we're seeing so much progress on offensive security, why we find vulnerability so much more, right? Frankly, why we're seeing so much investment into offensive security vendors, right? Again, coming from Black Hat. Right? We as security practitioners need to understand this and factor that into our plans. What changes in our defenses when we know that it's not that defensive AI can't improve, is that the rate at which defensive AI improves is smaller than the rate at which offensive AI improves. What do you do to compensate? Sorry, I can go on for this forever.
You've thought a lot about this, apparently.
But you don't say.
I think you're right. I think that the computational cost of being offensive is much, much smaller. And we're still in the infancy of figuring out where our computational capabilities are, right? So in a lot of cases, like I think back to a lot of things that we've done over the years where we've just programmed shortcuts into things because it's faster to do it. Anybody that wants to look up the SQRT thing from Quake 3 will know, like, it's just faster to program a hard-coded shortcut than it is to actually do the computation. But the computation is where the real intelligence happens, right? We have to weigh all the variables. We have to decide what a proportional response is. Just Google proportional response, and any one of a number of movie quotes is going to come up that talks about the math behind that. It's not something that can be taught, but it can be approximated. And we have to get better at teaching our tools to do that, to have those considerations. Because yes, it's going to be difficult to figure out the intent behind an attack. Are they doing this to shut me down? Are they doing this to steal information? Are they doing this to be persistent? These are all questions that we have to ask ourselves when we find out that we're getting attacked. But that's hard for us to do. And now I have to go teach something that has the memory of a goldfish on the best of days how to do that. And I don't know that I can right now.